Man, these things still don't have an intro?
No.
Hey, what the fuck? How'd you get here? You followed me to Colorado?
You're joking, right?
Are you? How'd you get here?
Has he seriously not figured this out yet, or is he trolling us?
Other room guy? He's here too? What haven't I figured out yet?
Oh my god. He seriously doesn't know who he's talking to? No way.
We're going to have a talk later. Let's just start the video.
Oh man, look, MK's back. Man, he took a long time off to go beat his dick.
Shut up. When I hear a story about racism, I don't care to listen to it. It's old and stupid, and thank God it's a dying issue. Sort of. The only reason it still exists, even the way it does now, is because we keep talking about it. We keep making it an issue when it doesn't need to be. So, in this video, I'm going to point out some of the biggest race offenders of the past few years, and we're going to examine exactly what racism is, what racism isn't, and why we should all get the fuck over it. Now, the first and probably worst of these offenders is this Zimmerman fella. He was accused and acquitted of unlawfully shooting and killing Trayvon Martin. He is a racist piece of shit. Nearly every piece of evidence pointed towards Zimmerman just kinda having it out for this kid. Either that or he's diabetic and bitterly hated Mr. Martin's ability to ingest large amounts of sugar in the form of Skittles and Arizona teas. But I think it was the racism. I could have swore I heard something to the effect of, "I'm going to kill this nigger," spoken to the police during the 911 call. It's been a long time. I might be wrong. I don't know. I can't remember. Look, Zimmerman is a racist. He has shown no remorse for his crimes. He's even gone on to profit from it. That's the really messed up thing about it. He's become a celebrity. Why? Because you allowed it. For the longest time, I refused to make a video about him. I refused to give his name the tiniest bit of a boost off of whatever popularity I will. He won't make a now not a nothing off of me. He killed a child just because he was black and maybe a little bit sketch looking, but that's all it took. He is a racist. Zimmerman, you are a racist, and you deserve nothing. Real quick on a related note that's kind of unrelated. This girl, Trayvon's girlfriend, at the time of the trial, her face was on television more than the President of the United States. This ignorant piece of ratchet was on TV more than Obama. 1. Since when is racism more important than the country is? And 2. Wake the fuck up. Your government is doing everything it can to keep you from paying attention to what really matters. Fat black widow of some kid that likes Skittles and tea? Not important. Your rights being taken away little by little? Yeah, that's important. I'll step down off my soapbox now. Now, next on the block is Paula Deen, someone who people claim is racist because something she said decades ago. In the 80s, Paula Deen worked as a bank teller and was held at gunpoint and robbed by a black man. Now, did she call him out of his name during the robbery? No. She knew better than to pop off at the mouth with something stupid and get her face blown off by some cracked out coon. She waited till she got home, she told her husband. That's right, she waited until she got home and told her husband. She didn't go out of her way to hurt anybody. She didn't spread hate. She waited until she was in the privacy of her own home and told her husband, "I got robbed by a nigger today." And you know what? I would have done the same. Honey, I'll be damned if I didn't get robbed by some jigaboo junkie today. And that would have been the end of it. Now, you might be wondering, well, if she told just her husband, how did it become public knowledge? Did he sell her out? No! Paula confessed to it through her own volition during a deposition for a lawsuit being handed to her by Mrs. Lisa Jackson, the manager for a restaurant that her and her brother owned. It's also the restaurant Miss Jackson claims Paula wanted a plantation-themed wedding to be catered by with all black waitstaff. Jackson claims Earl is a racist and repeatedly made inappropriate sexual advances and assaults on her person. Now, if you heard the name Lisa Jackson and thought it was a black woman, you are mistaken. And probably a little bit racist. Because she's white. This white woman claims Paula Deen is a racist. But why is it that only one white woman has come forward with these allegations? Is there seriously not one black employee or even one black customer that overheard something racist being said by either her or her brother Earl? It just strikes me as odd that not one single black person will support Lisa's claims. It kind of feels like Mrs. Jackson has a personal vendetta against Earl. Maybe he was making inappropriate sexual advances, and that's how all this started. At any rate, no, Paula Deen is not a racist. Don't you think someone would have come forward in those 30 years if Paula was a racist? No? You don't think so? Okay. Now, on to the third, final, and latest offender, Donald Sterling. He was recently caught on tape by his no-good, dirty, two-faced ass gold-digging girlfriend saying less than flattering things about minorities. And what do you know, as always, everyone grabs their torches and pitchforks, gets ready to burn this crotchety cracker at the stake. But first, let's dig our panties out of our asses and think about this for a second. Donald Sterling was recorded without his knowledge in his own home, and then that recording was sent to TMZ, which I hate. TMZ, awful show, complete waste of time, it's stupid. Fuck TMZ, I hate it. First and foremost, what that woman did was illegal. It's called voyeurism, the unlawful surveillance of a person. He has every right to sue, countersue because she's already suing him. Fuck it, I hope he sues the shit out of her. He has every right to. Second, just as Paula Deen did, he spoke privately to one person in his own home. He has every right to be just as fucked up a person as he wants to be. I think we've all said some pretty buck wild shit in our own homes. I've said some shit I wouldn't repeat to any fucking body. That's for me to hear and no one else. I'm a fucked up person, man. It's totally cool. You guys don't gotta know what the fuck I'm thinking. Don't worry about it. And third, Donald Sterling is the most timid, most hesitant, most inoffensive racist I have ever heard. Listen to the tape. He says to his girlfriend, I don't care if you bring them home and fuck them. Do not publicize your relationships with black men on Instagram. What the fuck is wrong with that? What the fuck is wrong with that? With his own mouth, I don't care if you fuck black guys. Just don't post it on Instagram and don't bring it to my games. That's all he said. Let me say it again. I don't care if you fuck black guys. What more do you want from them? They have an open relationship. I don't fuck. That's not the point. He's not a racist. The most you can say is he's tolerant of the racism around him, which absolutely can be just as bad. I get that. Here's what I think happened. One or a handful of Donald's friends and associates saw the picture that bra put on Instagram with Magic Johnson and hit up Donald like, hey man, your broad's fucking around with some black guy with AIDS. You know, you might want to deal with that. And all Don did was ask her to stop posting that shit to the internet and stop bringing her side niggas to the games. That's what it sounded like to me. And honestly, is it that damn bad that he said that? I mean, think about it. All he said was don't bring your side niggas to the game and don't post pictures with them. He didn't say all black people, just the black people you know, bitch. Because we know what your hoe ass is doing with them. Black people that want to watch a Clippers game? Come on in. Black people that also happen to be fucking my side bitch that want to watch a Clippers game? No. That makes sense to me. At the very worst, I see this as Donald Sterling being in a position where the people around him wag their fingers at these kind of things, and if he wants to enjoy the wealth and resources that he has to play ball. He has to accept certain things. He has to maintain a certain image. And to that I say, oh well, I get it. You're old. You don't want to rock the boat. You want to enjoy your final years without having to become some basketball race revolutionary. I get it. Don, fuck everybody. You go and live your life and die somewhere and leave your fortune to some minority-based charity. You'll be like Jesus the sequel to black people. They'll fucking love you, man. Real quick before I wrap this video up, I realize that these three particular stories deal with racism towards blacks and Latinos exclusively, but that's only because they are the biggest racist stories in the past few years. You don't have to be a pussy about it in the comments. If you can think of some Chinaman that went all in on some white guy and it was as big a story as these three, then by all means, go nuts in the comments like I'm sure you're going to. But keep in mind, racism is racism. It doesn't matter. It's all wrong. This isn't a blame game between blacks and whites and reds and browns and yellows, and it doesn't matter. It's all wrong. Look, I grew up in Texas, and in some parts of that state, they are still burning black churches. As bright as I am, I have been called a nigger more times than I can count. And then I moved to Arizona, and I kid you not long after that move, out of the mouth of a Mexican, I heard the words, pinchy negro. And for you non-Spanish speaking people out there, that means fucking nigger. I am done listening to racist bullshit. I dealt with enough of that shit growing up. Look, the only way to get rid of racism is to ignore what little of it is left. Racism will always be here to some degree, but we can make that degree so small that the people that still hold those racist ideals will be made outcast, shunned by society, and be made to be less than the people they hate. These people will be inferior, not racist. Can you imagine that? Races aren't inferior. Racists are inferior. You just have to stop making such a huge deal out of the nonsense. Only then can we move forward. Let's let the old and incorrigible die, and let's change the minds of their children. And if we can't, then love them anyway. Maybe that's what it's going to take.
Though I found your argument compelling, you kind of sounded racist a couple times in there.
What? No, I didn't. Shut up. Now, what's this business about whatever business it was you were talking about earlier?
MK, you really don't know who I am.
You're some guy I met that helps me with my videos now that everyone else I used to know is gone. I don't know you personally, no.
Oh my god, this guy is so fucked in the head, it's not even funny. I'm still gonna laugh though.
Hey, eat shit and die, other room guy. You douche.